Hi there, I'm Jason Stokes, Salmo consultant. I'm here today on a northern canal, which I fish quite often. I'm going to be going through various Salmo lures today, targeting perch. The four main lures I'm going to be using is the minnows, the sparky shads, the executors and the perch. I hope you're going to use all these four lures to try and show you how to use lures properly, correct techniques, and where to find the perch on canals such as this one behind me. Well, first thing this morning I tried the more shallow area, further up the canal. The reason for this the past couple of weeks there's been quite a lot of bait fish up there in amongst the weed beds that are dying off, which obviously attracts the perch, where the prey fish are. Didn't do so well up there first thing this morning, so I'm thinking the perch have dropped off into the deeper water, which is why I've come down more this end of the canal. So the wall in front of me is obviously about 10 feet deep. The reason I picked the perch today to start with is I know this one is the perch DR. Now this one dives to roughly around 10 feet, so I can work this lure fairly close to the bottom or just off the bottom. I'll start with a few tight turns to get to crank it down, and then slowly let it rise a couple of feet. Just keep repeating that method to find out if they're taking it on the rise or actually on the movement. You tend to get more hits on the rise. It's like it's a fluttering prey fish, so we'll see how that goes. We'll go from there. So the size of the lure is quite important, to be honest with you. I picked the 8cm perch, which this would be the perch colour. It's obviously this quite a lot of smaller perch around for feeding on the larger perch, and this will tend to pick out the big perch in the shoal in quite a large hard bait itself. Let's go try it first. Well, this is the first fish of the day on the perch, execute perch. Absolutely nailed it, tight to the wall like I said. First area I tried, a couple of casts. This one absolutely came up on the paws, absolutely slammed it. Brilliant fish to start with on this cold, crisp, almost winter morning now. Absolutely brilliant fish. After great success with the Salmo perch, I've now decided to try the Salmo minnow. I'm going to pick out the 7cm size because this will dive to the depth that I want it to dive to, around the walls and the tight structures again. The reason I like the Salmo minnow is that it's such a tight vibration. You can work it very slowly if you want, and great pauses, let the minnow rise and then crank it back down again. But I like to really work this quite fast and then a quick sudden pause, let it rise and then crank it back down again quite hard. This normally irritates the perch into more of an aggression strike rather than actually wanting to eat it. So we'll give that a go, see how it performs, and hopefully catch a few fish on the minnow. Well, that didn't take long at all. Switched over to the Salmo minnow, and I think it was second cast. This little beauty smashed the lure. Absolutely fantastic. There were other fish behind it as well, so when I slip this one back, I'm going to try in the same area and try and get a few more of the shoal. It's absolutely brilliant. Took it on the paws as well, cranked it down right to the bottom, felt it hit the mud, but just stopped, let it float up for about 2 seconds. Just as I started to crank again, bang. Absolutely nailed it. Pristine. I've now switched over to the spiky shad. Now you can use various techniques with this lure, but the one I like to use is the retrieve pause technique. Now with the spiky shad, the lure itself actually sinks rather than floats. So when you pause, it just naturally looks like a dying fish floating down. And you normally get a lot of hits on this sort of technique. And the little 4cm size is a perfect mouthful for any perch, big or small. It's also a really good chub lure as well. But today with this added sunshine, the holographic roach that I'm using, it's really giving it a good target for the perch to homing onto. This little beauty just smashed the sparky shad. I saw a few of these grouped up chasing the other fish I had before, so I switched to a smaller lure and it absolutely nailed it. Lovely looking perch. We took this on the drop with these sparky shads. You can reel them quite fast. They've got a real tight knit vibration, which actually sends these perch into a frenzy. When you pause, the actual lure itself actually sinks. And this is when you normally get them as well. It's just working it quite slow. It seems to be working so far, so hopefully a few more fish to follow. So I'm now using the 7cm executor. Now this you can get the three sizes I use are the 5, the 7 and the 9. And I'd use them all for perch, to be honest with you, and obviously the 9 would more go for pike with, but perch will gladly take a 9cm lure. The reason I like using executors is it's actually got a good body roll compared to the other slimmer profile hard baits. And with this one, when you pause, the actual lure floats, so it gives the perch more chance to attack the lure. So again, it's just a start-stop, or you can just do a straight retrieve. That's fine. It's a nice wobble, but if you want this sort of time of year, a pause will definitely help. Give that perch more chance to hit your lure. And the colour I'm using is the hot perch. Again, the reason for picking this is because there's that many small perch in here. The perch are just feeding on each other, as well as the roach, the skimmers, and various others. Natural prey fish that are in here. But I always find that in the canals, a perch pattern does work quite well. So I've had a great productive day on the canal today. These 4 Salmo lures have been the ones that I've been using the most, which is the executor, the sparky shad, the perch and the minnow. All the 4 fantastic lures for canals, for various depths and various structure that you'd be fishing to. All I can say really is get yourself out there, get yourself some of these, and have a wicked day's perch fishing on your canal.